It's a little hard to see, but there's a fire in the hole. Let's make some beefy French onion soup on the grill. Please stay tuned. Okay, so my beefy French onion soup starts out with a round steak that we're going to slather with some Sang stir-fry oil and some Tango Joe's Midnight Espresso, both sides, just a little bit, just enough to give it some flavor. Midnight Espresso is the best seasoning for beef, and it'll go good in our soup. And we're going to throw that on the hot fire and just sear it up a little bit. Let me show you what that looks like. There's the hot fire. We're going to sear our steak up, both sides a little bit. Then we're going to cube that up and put it in our soup. So please stay tuned. Okay, so the steak's seared off, and we're going to get the pot on the fire. And even though this is not a Cajun dish, we're going to make a roux. So we're going to take a cup of extra virgin olive oil, put that in the pot, and then we need a cup of flour. And the flour I like to use is this Wondra quick mixing flour. It works great for making a roux. It blends into soups and gravies and that kind of stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's somehow they process it to be to mix easily in soups and gravies. So you want a cup of oil and a cup of flour. And then the thing about a roux is you gotta stir it continually. Oh boy. I just knocked the camera off, didn't I? Okay. So yeah, you gotta keep it stirred or it'll burn. You want to keep stirring your roux. We want to make a medium roux for this dish. We don't need a dark roux. It's not a gumbo. We just want to make a medium roux. Can you see that okay? I hope so. Yeah. And we want to get it to about the color of peanut butter. So I'm going to continuously stir my roux until we get it to the color we want. And I'll bring you right back when we get to that point. So stay tuned. Okay, I've been stirring my roux, and it's just about where we want it. It's just about the color of peanut butter, which is a kind of a medium roux. You don't need a dark roux for this because it's a kind of a clear soup and you don't want to darken it up too much. So what we're going to do now is throw in some onions. I've got about 8 chopped onions. We're going to stick them in there. And they're going to caramelize in that roux. Oh, we need to season this a little bit. We've got some Slap Your Mama. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of Slap Your Mama on there. Maybe more, maybe 2 tablespoons of Slap Your Mama. And it's so good it'll make you want to slap your mama. So we're going to cook our onions up in that roux. And we want to kind of caramelize the onions a little bit. And then we're going to add the broth. So stay tuned. I'll bring you right back for that. How's that look so far? I tell you what, it smells good. You take away my onions, I can't cook. I can't cook if you take away my onions. Stay tuned. Okay, as you can see, my onions are nicely caramelized. So now we're going to add back that steak that we cubed up. And we're going to add to that some beef stock that I have. Beef stock that I buy at the grocery store, get in a box. I'm going to pour in 2 boxes of that, I think. Maybe not. Maybe 1. Maybe 2. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like 1 box is going to cut it. Just about covered everything with the 1 box. Yeah, I think we got it done with the 1 box. So 1 box of beef stock. Oh boy, that's just bubbling up. Woohoo! Yeah, look at that. Beefy French onion soup. Look at that, it's looking good already. And that roux has got it like thickened up to a nice broth. Now, that's got to cook still. So what we're going to do is put the cover on that and move it away from the hot fire and let it simmer a while, about an hour I think, till those onions are almost cooked down to nothing. And then we'll make our, we'll plate up our beefy French onion soup. And while that's cooking, I think I'm going to need a beer, don't you? So how's that look so far? Beefy French onion soup. Pretty good, huh? Okay, stay tuned. We're going to have a beer. Well, there's the Frosty Root Boy mug. And here's today's beer. This is an IPA. India Pale Ale from the Tommyknocker, whoops, sorry, can't see it, can you? Tommyknocker Brewing Company, Colorado Mountain Town Craft Beer. Dan, you should know all about this, made in Colorado. It's your old stomping grounds, right? So Tommyknocker India Pale Ale. Let's find out about that. Let's see what that's about. Ah, India Pale. I love IPA. I love an IPA. Oh boy, this one's frothy. Roll, you're going to love this. Oh boy, this one's got the froth on it. I got to be careful. I'll spill it. Look at that. It's all froth. Can you see that? I don't want to spill any. Tommyknocker IPA, Colorado, 6.2% by volume. Tommyknocker slipped into the mining camps of Idaho Springs in the 1800s with the discovery of gold in our mountains and streams. These mischievous elves, hardly ever seen, were often heard singing and working. They guided many fortunate miners from harm's way and into the gold they sought. So that's the story of Tommyknocker beer. Tommyknocker IPA, which you can't really see because of the light. And boy, that thing's like all froth. What are we going to do with that, Roll? I guess we'll have to quaff most of the froth off of there. What do you think? Alright, let's take a sniff. Oh, that's excellent. That smells like a good IPA. You can smell like a grapefruit overtones and the hops flavor. So let's take a sip of that. We'll sip the froth. That's all we can do. Look at all the froth on that. Ah, that's good. That's a good IPA from the Tommyknocker Brewing Company. They should call it frothy IPA is what they should call it. Look at all the froth on that. Alright, well let's let the froth settle on our beer and check in on our French onion soup. Please stay tuned. Okay, my French onion soup has been simmering on there for about an hour. What we're going to do now is plate some of that up into a bowl. We'll pour some of that beefy French onion soup, and boy, I ain't lying, that is some beefy soup right there. Can you see that? Mmm. And I've got some garlic bread that I toasted on the fire, and I've got some Swiss cheese I'm going to throw on there. Oh, that wind's raising hell today. A couple of slices of Swiss cheese that we're going to put on top. Then we're going to stick that back on the grill for a little minute and let that cheese get all melty. Then I'll bring you back for a money shot, so stay tuned. Alright, so the cheese is all melty on my French onion soup, and it's got big chunks of meat in it. I'm going to take a taste of that right now. Some of that meat, some of that cheese. Don't that look good? All that cheese is all drippy and melty on there. That stuff's hot right now. Hard to see in the shadow, isn't it? I'll take a taste of that. Mmm, that's delicious. Got that French bread in there. Nice garlicky French bread. That's excellent. Alright, that's my video for today. If you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, you want to go check out a new channel, Double J Barbecue. Jerry and Jimmy, Carr and Nelson. They should have called it Carr and Nelson instead of Double J. Anyway, yeah, they're up and coming YouTube stars. They should be rocking it out pretty soon here. Look at that, all that melty cheese right there. Let me eat that. Mmm, that's so good. Yeah. So anyway, come back next week. We might cook something. Maybe we'll just drink a beer. What do you think? See y'all later. Bye.